I'm Dan Aykroyd. Since childhood, I have been fascinated with the invisible world. A world which can help us get through life if we know how to draw upon its power. A world serving positive projections, wherein you use your own personal, mental, and spiritual abilities to believe and subsequently make true the things that you want to happen for yourself. Also healing, miracles, the presences of spirits and beings once living, now gone into another life, but who continue to intrude into our waking consciousness by, for instance, haunting people or places. The implicit potential indestructibility of the soul must concern us. All of the foregoing are actual elements in our existence. Over half of the world believes in such phenomena. There are plenty of photographic and audio materials, both conventional and digital, and also some trace physical evidence which support the premise that ghosts, UFOs and their occupants, plus other non-worldly presences exist. They indicate a supra-form of reality as valid as our normal reality. But there is no jar of ectoplasm, and no one will show us the bodies from Roswell. We've had nothing to touch until now. This is an accurate glass rendering of a human skull, designed by my friend, renowned American portraitist and landscape painter John Alexander, whose most recent exhibitions include showings at the American Wing of the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., and at the Houston Museum of Fine Art in Houston, Texas. It has been constructed to our demanding specifications after more than 2 years in development by one of the leading glass manufacturers in Europe, Bruni Glass. According to Bruni, no one has ever attempted to make a bottle of such quality and complexity as I hold in my hand. The obvious question is, why did we do this? John and I have always been avid researchers on the subject of the legendary 13 crystal heads, which have been unearthed at numerous locations and at various times on our planet. The story goes that 13 crystal heads have been found in places varying from the Yucatan Peninsula in Central America to the American Southwest in New Mexico and also in Tibet. There are now 7 heads known to be in mankind's custody. Mitchell Hedges in Ontario, Canada. Smithsonian Institution's Exhibits 1 and 2, the British Museum piece, Max in Texas, the Cross in Mexico City, and one currently owned by a woman in the Southwest who claims that she had to finally put it in a closet after he or she began speaking to her. Scientists estimate that it took between 300 and 500 years to carve one of these heads from a single piece of quartz. However, in tests conducted on the Mitchell Hedges head by Hewlett-Packard Labs in the 1960s, they could find no discernible tool marks on the head to show how it was carved. Equally fascinating is that, according to both physicists and jewelers, these heads should not exist, but should have shattered in the course of making them. In the film Indiana Jones, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the well-known Mitchell Hedges piece is referenced, as well as the concept that some of these heads may have an extraterrestrial origin. Indeed, the Navajo believe they were bestowed as a gift to their people by higher beings, not of this earth, as a means of cataloging sacred cultural knowledge from the past, assessing the present, and foretelling the future. Contrary to the common perception of the skull as a symbol representing death, the people from these cultures, the Aztec, Mayan, and North American First Nations, for whom these artifacts possess sacred and mystical properties, associate the crystal heads with a life-affirming symbology. In ancient tellings, the heads are living and sentient, sources of knowledge, insight, and power. The Mexican Day of the Dead is an example of how in Latin America the skeleton is celebrated as an icon representing life beyond our corporeal existence. On the feast day, the dead are held to return and commune with the living. It is in this spirit that we brought our project this far. We now have a touchstone and replica, which allows us, if we wish, to connect to the message of the crystal head's purpose on earth, the enlightenment of humankind to the spiritual awakening, which can occur in all of us, and the acceptance that there is more to life than mere material reality. Hopefully, this acceptance will lead to a less violent and more harmonious world as we respect the idea of higher power sources. Now, what to put in a bottle laden with such symbology and iconographic value? Such a symbol, which speaks to our own common universality, should have joy associated with it, shouldn't it? Also, since we are challenging traditional belief with the legend, the project should have a challenging aspect to it as well. We have this mystic symbol in which we have chosen to enclose joy in the form of a very pure alcoholic beverage. Which beverage, however? Only the most challenging arena in the legal recreational consumables industry: vodka. Why another vodka? because we have an opportunity to do something different and indeed enlightened in this category. Since we are encouraging discussion on matters of spirit, we must do so in an earnest, heartfelt, and credible manner. The liquid in these bottles must be the purest as is achievable. To tell you how we did achieve this, I'm going to turn you over now to my friend Phil Power of the Newfoundland Liquor Corporation, where we are manufacturing Crystal Head Vodka. We chose Newfoundland because of the purity of their land and their water. Newfoundland is known in Canada as the Rock, and for good reason. It's located off the coast of Canada, about 1,000 miles east of New York. It's so far east, it's in its own time zone, and it is in the easternmost part of North America. Therefore, it is far away from most forms of pollution and enables us to use some of the purest ingredients possible. Here's Phil to tell you more.
Thanks, Dan. We were very excited when you brought this project to us. In order to make Crystal Head Vodka, we use the purest alcohol available. It's not double distilled, it's not triple distilled, it's quadruple distilled. This alcohol contains no fusel oils. These are compounds or impurities that are found in whiskeys, brandies, and rums, and we certainly do not want to have these in Crystal Head Vodka. The next step in making Crystal Head Vodka is to use pure Newfoundland water. We take this water and blend it with our alcohol, and then we triple filter it through carbon to ensure its complete neutrality. Just when we thought we could not make Crystal Head Vodka any more pure, Dan came up with a suggestion. He proposed filtering it through diamonds. We triple filter the vodka through 500 million year old crystals known as Herkimer diamonds. No one can explain why, but people who have tasted the vodka have noticed a difference, perhaps an even greater purity of spirit. We then hand fill each bottle and put it in this unique gift box before sending it out to you to enjoy. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Phil. Now, today, although the majority of vodka drinkers prefer absolutely no taste whatsoever in their beverage, we are confident that people will enjoy the very slight, creamy sweetness given to the tongue and palate from a serving of Crystal Head, triple Herkimer diamond filtered Newfoundland deep aquifer pure spirit vodka. Perfect as a lone shot, chilled, or served in a signature drink of the mixologist's own creation, the Headstone, the Headbanger. Whether you wish to explore and discuss the mystical implications of your life on this amazing plane of existence or not, as you enjoy a fine premium beverage, the truth is that this is a luxury vodka in a cool bottle and at my personal request, manufactured to bring you a truly non-enhanced, pure spirit. Thank you.